or you're bachelor hopping. Hi, hello, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Portia. All my friends call me Porsh, so you could call me Porsh too. I make beauty, lifestyle, and random bachelor and bachelorette videos here on the tube. So if you're interested in any of those videos, just keep on watching. So speaking of making bachelor and bachelorette videos on my channel, in light of everything that has transpired last week, I don't know, y'all. I really don't know. A lot has happened. A lot has been said. I'm not gonna get into what I think or what I feel, because I think there's a ton of information out there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you obviously just don't watch The Bachelor, or you don't care, because there's tons of information on it. But as far as like continuing to make Bachelor content, I really like making Bachelor reaction videos, and I think it's really fun and I enjoy doing it. But I do want to say that a change needs to be made. And actions just need to be put forward in order to create that change. It's not gonna change just by one person stepping down. We got a little bit of change, but the real change has to happen from within. What I mean by within is more like production. Chris Harrison is, I guess you could say, the face of the franchise. And for that, he had to pay for his actions. But at the end of the day, he's not a one-man show. It's not the Chris Harrison show. It's The Bachelor. And it is ran by ABC. So you need people that are way, way above Chris Harrison to take some action or to do something to change it in some way, shape, or form. I think a lot of people miss the fact that this isn't a black and white thing. This is just a representation thing. This is a everyone being treated equally thing. This is an accountability thing. This is a liability thing. A lot of things that need to be reevaluated and changed about this show. But this is not what you came to see. You came to see the reactions. And I don't know how we went from like 20 girls to like 4 in the course of an episode, but here we are. Also, if you are digging the hoodie, you already know it's KingsArise.com. So if you want to pick up this hoodie as well as a whole bunch of other stuff that they have on their website, just go to KingsArise.com. It's going to be in the description box down below. It's always there, so you can click on it, and you can always use my code Porsh10 for 10% off. So go get you this hoodie, and they also have some really cool stuff as well. They just dropped their Black History line. So that's really cool. So you need to check it out. And yeah, just to support, it's Black History Month, so support a black business during Black History Month. That's just, you know, it makes sense, right? I knew it did. I knew it did. I know. So starting off with the show, Heather shows up in her nice little rented minivan. She interrupts Piper and Matt, and Heather just explains to Matt how she just really wanted to meet him. Hannah said Hannah spoke so highly of him, and you know, she just had to see for herself what Matt was all about. And Matt was actually kind of intrigued by it. You know, he was just like, wow, you're really bold, and that's really ballsy to come. But too little too late. He says, I can't really do this to the other girls. I need to think about it. Essentially what he says is, I need to think about it. So Heather's like, that's perfectly fine, but I want you to know that I'm really serious. So she goes out into the hallway, not the hallway, but into like the common area where the rest of the girls are, and the girls are out for blood, honey. They ripped this girl apart. Who are you? What are you doing here? Why are you here? Heather explains to them that she just wanted to meet Matt, and they said, aren't you from Colton season? And she said, yes, I am from Colton season. And they said, oh, so you're bachelor hopping. Child, I almost fell out of my seat. No games were being played whatsoever, like at all. They were angry. Now, there was a lot of conversation on Twitter saying that these girls are just, we thought all the bullies were gone, but no, all the girls are bullies, and these girls are being so mean to Heather, and it's just, you know, this is horrible, this is toxic, and it's just the things that they were saying to her were just awful, and they're just bullies and they're mean. I would have to disagree. I would have to were they rough? They were rough. Those girls were rough, and they should not have said what they have said. Or if they were gonna say it, they should have said it in a more respectful tone. But do I think that the girls in general were out of line for being upset? No, not really. At this point, they're saying that we're at the 6-week mark. We are at the 6-week mark. So these girls have been here for a while now. They have known Matt. They have conversations with Matt. They have grown. They have created, developed relationships, feelings, emotions. So, and the fact that you're going into hometowns the next week, it seems unrealistic. You know nothing about this man. Only things that you have heard from your friend, and just, you know, it doesn't seem realistic. So from that aspect and from that point of view, I understand why the girls were so upset. At the same time, did they have to go as hard as they did? Obviously not. They did not have to rip that girl apart like they did, but hey, we already know what we're up against with these group of girls. I don't know. I don't know why y'all expectations about how these girls are acting is like shocking. I don't know why it's shocking to you guys at this point. So after Matt thinks it over, he ultimately decides that he is going to send Heather home. He doesn't even wait for the rose ceremony. He says, you know what? I can't do this. I can't do this to the girls. I can't do this to you. I can't do this to myself. Like, I just can't do this. Like, if we had more time to get to know each other, I would have loved to get to know you, but I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. So he sends Heather packing. She didn't even get a chance. She was on the screen for like 5 minutes. I don't know what the point of that was, but yeah, you quarantined a week to see Matt for like 10 minutes. That's a waste of time. So with that being said, enough time has been wasted. So now we jump right into the rose ceremony, and there's not much to say about the rose ceremony. You know, it's just girls are going home, and those girls were Serena C and Chelsea. I'm really upset about Chelsea, you guys. Like, I'm really upset. I love Chelsea. I just think she was just a breath of fresh air. You know, she might have had a little bit of mean girl in her, but I think that might have just been editing. I don't know. You know, we don't know what we don't know, but you know, man, I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, but like, dang, I wanted her to be there, but she made it really, really far. So claps up to her. And Serena C, the last of the mean girls, man, the very last of the actual mean girl crew. I mean, he didn't really spend that much time with Serena C. So now we jump into the next day, and Chris Harrison drops off the date card and tells him, you know, hey, it's getting down to the wire. Things are getting pretty serious. You know, no, it's go time. it's literally go time. We drop off the one-on-one. So now we know that Serena P has the one-on-one. Mind you, this is Serena P's second one-on-one, and which means Jasenia and Abigail haven't had a one-on-one yet. They're a little upset. They're a little perturbed that they haven't gotten a one-on-one yet, but you know, here we are. Serena P goes and meets up with Matt, and they go to this little area where they find out that they're about to do tantric yoga, or tantric yoga. I can't say that word. Which, you know, right off the bat is super uncomfortable for Serena. She just doesn't like it. She's just not a fan. She's not into it whatsoever. She's just not a touchy-feely person, and it made her super uncomfortable. After that portion of the date was over, she told Matt. Matt asked her, did she enjoy herself? And she said, I'm happy I'm with you. But she was just really honest about the situation and said that she really did not have fun on their date, and she just did not enjoy it whatsoever because it's just not her thing. And for that, Matt was really happy about her honesty. He says he needs that kind of honesty because he doesn't want anyone just saying yeah just for the simple fact of saying, hey, this was really cool, or just to make him happier, saying something that they think he wants to hear. So he said he appreciates that because in the future, he doesn't want to plan a date for tantric, whatever type of yoga, sensual yoga. I'm going to call it sensual yoga. And she'd be like, I'm not into that. So that would be awkward. So expanding on that, going into the night portion, Matt just further explains to Serena P how impressed he was with her and how that really made him fall for her even more. The fact that she was able to speak up and speak her mind and just flat out tell him that she wasn't feeling that. And, you know, that just turned him on a little, I guess. There's not much that was said in this date. But needless to say, Serena gets the date rose, and we jump back to the house. And we find out that all the girls are going on a group date except for Jasenia. So we know Jasenia gets the last one-on-one, which throws Abigail, sweet Abigail, into a frenzy. She doesn't get it. She doesn't understand. She's really upset, especially because it is hometowns next week. She hasn't had a one-on-one yet, so she doesn't even know what's about to happen. So the weird thing about this episode is that they really kept skipping a lot of things. Like, they kept skipping cocktail parties and group dates. So for this particular group date, we actually skip the actual day portion of the group date. Now, I don't know if they just didn't have a day portion or they chopped the footage from it. So whatever happened during the group date, they just didn't think that it was important. But we go straight into the cocktail portion of the group date, and Matt gets a chance to talk to all the girls, just because he wanted to make sure that everybody has enough time to talk to him and, you know, further their relationship. The first person that gets to talk to Matt is Bree, and she explains to him how she really wanted to be here, and she left her job, not just any job, her dream job, to be here because she felt so strongly that her and Matt were going to be together, and she really cares about him. Now, I'm not gonna say that's dumb, but that's dumb. Maybe it's because I kind of know like the outcome. I think we all kind of know the outcome. So maybe that's why my thought process is like, that's a little dumb. But you know, it's cute and romantic, a little reckless, if you will. Is there like a window where you could come back? Like, they'll let you come back? Because So obviously that's super touching to Matt. He's like, wow, you gave up so much to be here, just to be here with me. That's amazing, and you are amazing, and I'm falling for you. Kind of, sort of, possibly. Now, they jump to a few other conversations as well. I think he talks to Michelle for a little bit. He talks to Rachel, but you know, I have nothing to say about Rachel. And then they finally showcase Abigail and Matt's conversation, where Abigail is just saying she's kind of concerned that they haven't had a one-on-one, they haven't had that much time, and she really likes their connection, especially since she's the one that got the first impression rose. You know, she could see herself having a future with Matt, and she really likes him, and she just wants to make sure that they're on the same page. And Matt reassures her that they are not on the same page. So Matt just flats out tells her that he feels a little bit stronger feelings for some of the other girls in the house, and that, you know, I don't want to lead you on. I don't want to make you think that I am falling in love with you when I just like you. Matt walks her out, and all the girls are like, whoa, this is insane. Next conversation that was highlighted is Kit. And you guys, it's not that I actually have a problem with Kit. I think she seems like a great girl, but that's the problem. She's a girl, like she's a child. And everything that she said in this conversation that her and Matt had reaffirmed that she was a child. So she sits down, talks to Matt, and tells him that she really likes him and she has strong feelings for him, but she has a few things that she needs to let him know first. Number one being, she wants to be able to travel. She wants to be able to allow herself to figure out what she wants to do with her life and how she wants to move forward. She also doesn't want to have kids until she's 25 or 26. Her significant other to support her in anything that she does and just allow her to be able to grow and to become the woman that she wants to become. Oh, and the very last thing, she doesn't plan on getting married anytime soon. So what you here for? Honestly, it sounds like you need to be single until you figure out what you want and what you need and all these other things. So that is the last conversation that we see highlighted in the group date, and Matt tells them, you know, there was a lot of things that all of you guys had said to me, spoke to me, told me about your concerns. We got really deep this time. And he was like, with that being said, I'm gonna give the rose to Rachel. That pissed off literally everyone. With that being said, I don't think anybody was more upset than Bree, because, you know, she literally just told you that she left her job to be here with you. And all Rachel really said to Matt was, hey, I'm pretty sure that my racist parents might like you if they see how much I like you. Another person that this didn't sit quite right with was Kit. So Kit takes it upon herself to go see Matt at his house after the group date dinner. And she goes and talks to him and tells him that, you know, I don't think I am ready for something like this. She tells Matt that she doesn't feel like that she's quite ready for something like this, and that he needs someone who is absolutely 1,000,000,000% sure that they are ready to walk down that aisle right then and right there. And she flat out said that that's not her. So she actually chose herself to leave the show. So Matt walks her out and says, hey, Kit's gone. And at this point, that's like the fourth person to go home. So these girls dropping like flies, okay? Now we are into the last one-on-one of the show, which is going to be Jasenia and Matt. They go on a Tokyo Drift drag racing date, which that's pretty cool, a little dangerous, but cool. Especially since Matt thought it was cool to just start knocking the obstacles over. But yeah, so there's not much to say about that. They go into the night portion, which is a beautiful, beautiful, like bright lit up icicle light thingamabob. I don't know what they're called. So Jasenia is talking about how she really likes him and how she can see herself having a nice and cool, a nice future with him, how she knows that her family is going to just absolutely love him, and she's really excited for hometown so he can get to know her family a little bit better. Matt says, nah. With the second fake out of the season, Matt picks up the rose, tells Jasenia, hey, I don't feel like that with you. I don't think that we should go into hometowns and, you know, take our relationship to the next level. I don't feel that way, and I don't feel that connection that I'm looking for when it comes to you. Whew. So he doesn't give Jasenia the rose, which, can we please? That's one of the things that they need to fix. Please stop doing the rose fake out. That's humiliating, and that is just rude. Please stop doing the rose fake out. If you're not gonna give them the rose, don't pick the rose up. Just don't pick it up. So now Jasenia goes home. What I wasn't expecting in this episode is to have 2 rose ceremonies. Wasn't expecting that. And once again, we jump right in to the rose ceremony. There's not even a cocktail party, honey. We jump right into it. So with that being said, Michelle gets a rose, Bree gets a rose, which leaves Piper. Piper is the one that had to leave and go home. I feel really bad for Piper, but I understand, you know, it's just, out of all the girls there that didn't have a rose, I think Matt and Piper had the least chemistry. Out of all the girls there, I feel like he has the most chemistry with Michelle, and he has the most chemistry with Michelle. But yes, that is the end of the show. And then we just go into the preview where it's hometowns, and we are meeting all of the families. So that is pretty much it, you guys. This was actually a pretty quick Bachelor. Everything went pretty fast this episode. So probably because, you know, next week you have the women tell all, and they all had to drop like flies at some point because it was just too many girls. But yeah, it's amazing that this season is going to be over in 2 weeks, and then after this season, the fate of the Bachelor series in general, the franchise, Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, it's kind of up in the air. It's a little weird. So that is pretty much it. That is Batch Tuesdays. That is all for the Bachelor recap. Once again, if you like these videos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel because I make Bachelor videos every single Tuesday. For the time being, I'm just gonna put that out there. For the time being, I'm making Bachelor videos every single Tuesday. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye guys.